Then another carer from that unit approached me and they said they were seeing terrible things. I said, well, you must go to the manager, you must tell them immediately. And they said, well, I've been going to the manager for a number of months, and so have the others. And that's when I realised that I wasn't on my own. I think that was probably the turning point, because I knew that I had to go and get help.
Eileen decided she would have to prove what she was seeing. She copied the drug sheets to show that there were irregularities in the dosages of the drugs prescribed by the doctor and the amounts of drugs the residents were given. Together with the statements from 6 other carers, she went to Bromley Social Services. While she was still at the care home, Social Services started an inquiry.
I thought, well, it's over. That's it, because the secret is out. I just felt relief, and I thought, looking back, I was extremely naive, because it wasn't the end, it was only the beginning of the fight. It's very hard for somebody that hasn't been in the situation that we've been in to understand what you go through, so it has helped that there's been 7 of us.
Eileen left the home, but still keeps in touch with the other 6. They've supported each other through the investigations. The pharmacist's report found there were concerns about the amounts of tranquilizers given to patients.
And all we ever wanted was the truth to be out there. It sounds like the X-Files.
That's what it is. Do you know what I can't
Bupa, who run Izzard House, have 247 other care homes across the UK. Following the report by Bromley Social Services, they deny that there was any serious wrongdoing.
Everything that they claimed was thoroughly investigated. There were some relatively minor improvement areas identified. I'd be the first to say that with a very, very thorough investigation, you're bound to find improvement areas, and these were actioned by the management team.
After leaving her job at Izzard House, Eileen claims her reputation as a whistleblower made it difficult to get another job in elderly care. She now works as an office cleaner. But she was amazed to find that the person she made allegations against was still working in a Bupa care home.
I can remember feeling really shocked at that point. It's one of the things that did shock me the first time we found out that she was working.
Eileen couldn't understand that while this carer continued to work, as a whistleblower, Eileen herself wasn't wanted.
Allegations begin to bring doubt on the running of an elderly care home. In a recent tribunal, 7 workers at Bromley's biggest home, the Bupa-run Izzard House, made a string of allegations about the way residents were being treated. Vicky Abbott has been finding out what went wrong and speaks first to Dilys Langley, who removed her own mother from the home.
One instant when she was saying that she'd been out in the garden at night, and I thought it's rather strange because she was frightened of the dark.
Dilys Langley took her mother Audrey out of Izzard House in July this year. Several incidents made her concerned about the care she was receiving there. Her mother, who at the time was too ill to be filmed, couldn't make complaints herself. She was totally dependent on her carers.
Well, you just accept what they say in the end. I mean, there's still the doubts in the back of your mind, but you still think, well, they're the carers.
7 former care workers made statements on 18 incidents of alleged abuse up to April '99 by some of their fellow carers, pushing a resident over, flicking food in one person's face, spitting in a resident's face, leaving them in soiled clothes for hours.
We were so naive. We thought if you report abuse, you photocopy medical records, you back it up with hard evidence, you give detailed reports of what happened. We thought the abuse would stop.
In fact, the group were bullied by some of their colleagues and had to take sick leave. At the Industrial Tribunal into their dismissal, Bupa denied all the claims and said the carers were lying, despite a damning report from Bromley Council's care homes inspector, which said there are a significant number of witnesses amongst care staff, relatives and others who corroborate the original allegations. A climate of complacency and laxness occurred in terms of the care of the residents. The tribunal found that they had been bullied, but social services say they're happy problems at the home have now been resolved. But the whistleblowers aren't satisfied. They want a judicial review. Vicky Abbott, BBC London News.
Well, earlier I asked Peter Ludford, Bupa's Director of Care Homes, to shed some light on it.
I think our procedures were in place, to be honest, at the time. They weren't followed properly regarding escalating concerns to a higher level of management. In this particular case, certainly our view was that some of the more extreme allegations were not true, and this was supported by the findings of the tribunal to recognise that some of their allegations were exaggerated.
You don't think there was something in the working climate that they felt they were not being listened to, and therefore they took it elsewhere, in this case to Bromley Council?
I don't believe so, because the whole idea of that is if they're not satisfied at home level, they take it outside the home to higher levels of management who can act on it.
At the moment they're pushing for a public inquiry. They feel that even though some cases in the Industrial Tribunal found in their case, the allegations, the main points, have not been put through, and that the public still doesn't know what went on in your care homes.
Well, I don't believe a public inquiry would take us any further forward. This case has been looked at both by ourselves, the whole of management time, by the Bromley Inspection Unit. Police have been involved at one stage.
Are you saying you prefer not to see a public inquiry go ahead?
I don't think it would take us any further forward. There's no new evidence, to my knowledge. The Industrial Tribunal looked at a lot of evidence we ourselves had, and
if it satisfied the care workers that everything had been done?
Well, I think we're certainly satisfied that Izzard House now is a properly run home. It's popular with our customers, supported by the Bromley Authority. There were some lessons to be learned, but I hope they'd realise that those issues have been put right.
We felt that far better to have this member of staff where we could see them and supervise what they were doing in a different environment, in a lower position, under close scrutiny, rather than perhaps let them go somewhere else where the same supervision wouldn't apply.